Welcome back to my channel. Basically, I just got a message I finished getting a message from Joy, and she finished a tarot reading, a collective message, and Atah was champing at the bit. And this is the message that I was getting from Atah, and I will start with that, and then I will let Atah enter. I think he's going to use the rooms. So, a message from Atah is like, he wanted you guys to know that he and the other angels feel it could get rather boring if you don't give them a job to do, because as you have your angelic units or your groups where you're have contracts to do things in the 3D realm, they get bored if you are not actually aligning with that purpose, and then they have nothing to do in your as a character in your world. They have nothing to do until you give it to them. They can't do it without you asking. He says, they say that we want, Azrael's backing him up, we want to help you achieve your goals. But you have to invite us to take a role in your eternal now. You have to invite us to take a role in your eternal now. Co-create with us, and the light of love you become will bring you fun and fulfillment without limits, and prosperity beyond your wildest dreams. So that is their goal, is to co-create with you. They already have the contracts for what they're supposed to do in your life, and you're going to meet the people that they're working through that will resonate with you and will follow through with the plans that your angels had set out to do together. They said that we need you to your participation. We all want a better world. It's up to us to make it one. They're like, it's our job to do that. Let's free ourselves from the pain, constraint, and necessity of the 3D realm, and take a hold of the limitless nature of the 5D realm. It's as real as you want it to be. That is a running theme through a lot of the angelic messages that I hear through myself, through the angels, and through Courtney, is that this is as real as you want it to be. You can make it real if that's what you want. We can make a better world. Yeshua, Jesus, was certain of it in his time. And that was a long time ago. So it's time to take hold of the now and bring those miracles that Yeshua, the Christ, was talking about. Love is the only real way to do it. We will find those people that are resonating with us, and we will be able to carry out the plans that make this world a better place for all. Now, I'm going to let Atah come through, and we'll see what else he has to say. Hello, it's good to breathe. I didn't mean to keep you waiting, but I got lost in the sensation of the hand moving the stones around in the bag. I will be using the rooms today to, like we do the tarot, I will use them today so that we can bring through a message for you. What do you have to say about the collective runes? So this is the rune of communication. And when it's turned that way, upside down, this is the way it's supposed to look. Raído. And when it's upside down, that means that you need to pay attention to the communications you have, because there could be a miscommunication. And it's easy when you have like a fear-based emotion going on to miscommunicate. So watch with your interactions with the human beings around you that are channeling the divine, and channel love, and realize to not take things personally, because there could be miscommunications. There could be miscommunications, but you can't really take that personally. You just have to try to breathe through it and live in your 5D. Live in your 5D, and remember, it's not that serious. I will look for you what Ralph Bloom says about this rune, and I will read it in the upside down, the way that we pulled it, and I think that's number 20. Aha, 20. And it's communication, union, and reunion. So we're going to read that in the upside down position. See what kind of messages, and my chair is moving. That is not phenomena except for cats. Okay, Angie, so we will read this in the upside down position. Receiving Raído puts you on notice to be particularly attentive to personal relationships. At this time, ruptures are more likely than reconciliations. So if you were thinking about maybe contacting someone that is from your past that you want to make a reconciliation for, now might not be the good time for that. This is what it's saying. An effort may be required to keep your good humor. You might find yourself feeling down or in a bad mood about it, but breathe through it and keep your humor. Keep your humor. It's not that serious. Whatever happens, how you respond is up to you. So you may feel that moment of miscommunication. Breathe through it and don't let it phase you. If it's with someone that you are working with, breathe slowly and then try to communicate again. There's a cloudiness in that communication, but don't take it personally, because the miscommunications could abound. The requirements for your growth may totally disrupt what you intended. So you may intend for a particular thing, like Angela intended when she went over to the grocery store to work 40 hours a week. The first thing that happened, that the universe did, was not allow any more full-time employees at the job that she's at, or was at. And when she moved to another position, the managers there trying to get her a place where there would be more stable hours, it was way too hectic, and it activated the catastrophic feeling. It was just too overstimulating in every aspect for her to continue and to feel not crazy. So she moved over to the floral department, but that department only promised her 20 hours a week. Therefore, it disrupted what she intended. Now, because Cecil took on more hours at the job there that he does as a cashier, it was able to balance out. But the universe is not allowing her at this time to overwork herself at that job. We have told her so, and the universe has shown her so. Every now and again, she can get a few more hours to help out the family. But at this point in her life, we need her more free to do what she needs to do. And so it says the requirements for your growth may totally disrupt what you intended. So the requirements for her growth disrupted that intention to work 40 hours a week, bring home mega bucks, and keep them supremely comfortable. So, and desired outcomes may elude you. And she has went more than once to the bosses and told them that she would work more hours. And she thought she was going to get to this week, like 29. Ooh, yay. And it disappeared. They moved it back to 4 hours. So her coworker was supposed to work there instead for that in the morning of the bakery, or at least do some of it. But I'm not certain, and neither is Angela, that she actually wants to do that. She doesn't seem too keen on the bakery anymore. So, on the floral anymore. She seems more wanting to work in the bakery than floral. And the only reason that, at least Angela, when she discussed it with her, the only reason that she wouldn't go there full time is because they wanted her early in the morning if she was going there full time. Okay. So, and like early in the morning, like 4 in the morning, not like 10 in the morning or 7 in the morning, which is what she's used to. And yet what you regard as detours, inconveniences, disruption, blockages, and even failures and death will actually be rerouting opportunities with union and reunion as the only abiding destination. Now, we have wanted to keep Angela freer so that she can allow us to flow through her, because it is not easy to channel while you're in the middle of a crowded store. So we wanted to give her extra time to do that. We want to bring her money through methods of her creativity. She has music, she does poetry, and she's great at it. She doesn't necessarily think she's great at it, but she doesn't think she's bad at it, but we think she's great at it. She has all these different modes of expressing herself, and that we want to get her paid to do that instead of stand on her feet in a store where she can't flow freely. So let's get another message, another room. We had the Raida reversed. Now Angela would usually read that upright as well, but since we're doing a collective message, we're going to stick with the way we get them, so we can see what is right, what is true for the collective to hear, because somebody needs this message, because we need to give it. Let's see. Manaz, that is the self. The starting position is the self. That is the thing that we need you guys to take time to do. Even if you love the job you got, even if you love the career that you got, you definitely need to slow down your pace and take time for self. Self-aligned to self. Take time for the self. If you don't, No one else will. Take time for yourself. Only you can take that time. So let's see what the self, the starting point, number one, at least according to Ralph, number one in this menage is, like it says, the self. The starting point is the self. Its essence is water. So the self itself is of the essence of water. It flows. It flows. It's like a wave, like light. Light and water both come in the form of a wave and flow. So the starting point of self essence is water. Only clarity, willingness to change is effective now. So at this time, at this moment, in self, only clarity and willingness to change is effective now. So you can't hold on to the old stuff. If you hold on to the old stuff, then it muddies up the clarity. You have to be willing to change, because that is the one constant in this universe, is change. Is change. Not advertising, just drinking. Okay. Let's see. A correct relationship to yourself is primary, for from it flow all possible right relationships with others and with the divine. So you need to make sure you're in your divine flow, that you have a correct relationship with your angel, that you are a co-creator with this divine piece of yourself, because you're not just the material, you're not just the human body, you are the spirit that animates that body as well. And as the spirit that animates that body as well, you are the creator of your own reality. Remain modest. That's the Oracle's counsel. So Angie, she really, the hardest thing she had to balance was not really the why her, but more like her modesty, her humbleness, because it takes a bit of confidence, almost ego, to put yourself out there. And she didn't have confidence in her ability to do that and sound modest at the same time. And she did not want to project the idea that everyone couldn't do this, because she's always felt like everyone's right here on equal footing, that everyone could actually do this if they put their mind to it, if they were divinely inspired to do it, if they were with their, like, aligned with their angel. She's never thought that she was special in that ability. She might be special in the fact that she grasped onto her curiosity with both hands, and that she does what it takes to grow. But she's not special in the ability to connect to the higher self and the angelic realms and everything that she has been connected to. Regardless of how great may be your merit, be yielding, devoted, and moderate, for then you have a true direction for your life. So like balancing out that being yielding and moderate, while like seeking abundance and wanting to project the idea of flow and abundance and still try to remain within the budget that she actually has now in her bank account until she gets $13 million. She's trying to live in the flow, live it with abundance, and at the same time be moderate. Be moderate so that she can continue down the path that she's going without the barriers of being homeless or any of these other things that can happen. Uh, and so the devoted part is you need to be devoted to your divine self. And that even means if you feel so hemmed in by your job that you can't be nice to people, that you can't be nice to yourself, then you might need to think about looking for other employment, because you need to be able to at least experience the joy in life and being nice to people and nice to yourself. So it says, and then you have true direction for your life. Again, by yielding to your divine self and not overthinking everything and trying to have fun while you're creating and realizing that it's not all that serious. You can find a true direction for your life. You'll start understanding your purpose, which is mostly to have fun. Mostly to have fun. And then you'll find while you're having fun that you'll meet people and they'll suggest things and you'll feel divinely inspired to do these things. And these things will bring about your abundance. Be in the world, but not of it. Again, you're human. Feel your feelings. Do the whole keeping your body alive, but not of it, meaning don't allow limitations. Don't put yourself in a limited state. Allow yourself to flow endlessly into your eternal now. Yet do not be closed, narrow, or judging. Rather, remain receptive to impulses flowing from the divine within and without. So, again, that was what I was talking about. The divine without might bring you into your area, someone who resonates with you, and they have an idea, and that idea is a divine yes, and then you take that divine hell yes, and then you go with that, and you will find yourself in abundance. Strive to live the ordinary life in a non-ordinary way, which it's hard for Angela now. She used to, before her change, she used to try to strive to live an ordinary life in a non-ordinary way, but right now she doesn't feel like she actually has an ordinary life anymore because of her condition, which her condition lending to the sense that life is extraordinary. It is a condition, a power, but it does affect human beings. There is a genetic trigger for such thing in the human body, and you have to be able to understand your own situation. So she doesn't feel like anymore that she has an ordinary life. She's living an extraordinary life right now, kind of in an ordinary way because of working in the floral department and still doing all these things. And she wasn't closed about like the fact that she was renting a building and channeling her sister. One of she hasn't really had a chance to talk to her boss about it, Taylor, but she knows someone else who channels angels, but they don't really work much together. And since she learned about it, she hasn't worked much with Taylor. They only like work 30 minutes together at most, usually a day, and usually they're both busy getting started. So remember at all time what is coming to be and passing away, and focus on that which abides. So circumstances like Angela's job, that's something that will pass away, and something else will come into being. But that which abides is her connection to herself. She's gone through many different jobs, many different modes, from babysitter to teacher to all kinds of service industry jobs. But that's not that which abides. How she treats people, how she interacted with her life, choosing to be happy, choosing to be gung-ho about her life no matter what the circumstances were. That was living an ordinary life in an extraordinary way. And that was focusing on that which abides, which is her unity with her husband, with Cecil, and her abilities to reach beyond. And they have been there for a long time now. They've grown, but they've been there for a long time now. Nothing less is called from you now. So you need to focus on that which abides, which is your divine spirit, your divine connection, and its purpose to even playing this game on this earth. You need to focus on that. It's the time for major growth and rectification. And as a rule, rectification must come before progress. Now, we don't feel like you guys need much of rectification. By this, I think Angela feels, and so I'm going to go with what she feels, that this means that if you are holding on to something you think you did, something you think somebody else did, that whole karmic wheel thing, tell your guides, tell your angels. This is what she tells us. I forgive the karmic debt. I don't want that kind of tied bind. I don't care about that. They're free to have what has been taken. I want to focus on the ties that binds through creativity, through love. So I forgive all of that. That doesn't mean her feelings don't get hurt, or every now and again she still feels the sting of something or done by someone she loved or trusted. But it means that she doesn't want them to pay for that. What she wants is to give them love. And what she wants is them to discover their divine nature and not feel so messed up inside anymore, because she knows what that feels like. This is a time of major growth and okay, sorry. A field is tilled before the seed is planted. The garden is weeded before the flowers bloom, and the self must know stillness before it can discover its true song. So you need to still all of these fears and doubts, let go of pain, the pain, constraint, and necessity, as I was giving earlier. Let go of that pain, constraint, and necessity. That's not the true you. The true you is limitless. The true you is love. The true you is knowledge. All the knowledge you've built up through this lifetime, or any lifetime that you had on this earth, or any other lifetime you had on other planets that are touched in this lifetime, that are that you've used elements of in order to create the character, if you will, the situation, having the powers and the abilities for whatever situation that you may find yourself in. So who knows, like she has a lifetime in another planet. She's not interested in what the planet was. She knows that they were a reptilian, more like a chameleon, and she was a stateswoman killed basically because of her politics. But that lifetime, because of the abilities of the chameleon and how it's touched on in this lifetime, the actual invisibility power, how it's touched on in this lifetime, is why it seems like she matters. Why that lifetime actually matters. It seems to be an ability that comes from her, the ability to be not seen, to protect yourself, to be like a chameleon. And we'll probably do a whole nother thing on what that's like the chameleon aspect. Now is not the time to seek credit for accomplishments or focus on results. Meaning, well, I will use an example of BTS. BTS decided not to go out for their Grammys, and it's caused all kinds of controversy. But their whole point was that that's not what they wanted to focus on. Was credit for accomplishments or the results that have been made from those accomplishments. What they wanted to focus on was the music itself, the flow of the dance, the actual communication with their fan base, with bringing out everything that they want to bring out to the world about their culture and about their relationship to art and culture. So, instead, be content to do your task for the task's sake. And that is them wanting to bring out their culture and exchange cultures through music, song, art, with the whole of the world, so that there is a certain zen to understanding through song, paintings, stories, that there's nothing like it to exchange the knowledge of feeling and how a certain culture feels. Herein lies the secret of experiencing the true present. That's right, you're in the moment. You're in the moment doing the task, and you're having fun doing that task. And no matter what else comes of it, you had fun going with the flow of what your divine wanted from you. You co-created, no matter what the results of that creation are. If you take the rune of self and cut it down the middle, not middle, you will see the rune for joy with its mirror image. There is here a subtle caution against carelessness. The self is required to balance the self. We will say that again. The self is required to balance the self. Remember that you are co-creating. So your human self is there to balance your divine self and to bring it into light, to bring it down to the 3D, to give it density. And your divine self is there to balance out that animalistic, fear-based nature, that reptile fear, fight or flight feeling that is a chemical in our brain from ancient times, when there were many, many things which we've overcome now that could hurt us. The elements, we are now in the houses, and we discovered fire, and we can even keep ourselves cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Nothing in excess was the second phrase written over the gateway to the temple at Delphi. Now, this is an important aspect that we want to bring to you, because we want to put you guys in the flow so that you can help other people. So while you're starting to get more material advantages, more money, you need to remember to remain balanced. Balance out what you spend on yourself, the excess you spend on yourself, and find that same amount to spend on something else that is doing good for others, especially once we're making millionaires and billionaires. And that is what we want to do, so that those millionaires and billionaires can give it out to the people. We're targeting people who don't really want excessive material gains, collectors of things, or hoarders of wealth. We want people to give them lots of money so they don't have to worry anymore, who want to create new things to help other people, to help guide them, to help clothe them, to help feed them. That is what we desire, and that is why we're working the way we're working, trying to get people into the 5D, because those people in the 5D will help those people stuck in the 3D. So the first counsel was know thyself, and that is the most important point. Because if you don't know yourself, then you don't know how to relate to yourself. And if you don't truly know how to relate to yourself, then you don't know how to relate to those others. So let's get another rune. Her desire to sing is overflowing. She just sings about everything and anything. And that's part of who she's been all her life. Okay, let's see. Ooh, well, that one jumped into the box over here. This is Perth. That is initiation. Initiation. Let's see what initiation has, because there's a lot of ideas about initiation, and we're going to see what initiation has to say. If you can remember what number it is. Well, there's a guide back here. Initiation. There it is. Perth. Initiation. Number 6. Okay. So we got, it's a heretic or mystery rune, pointing to that which is beyond our frail manipulative powers. And by that, they mean manipulative powers of the body itself, of the human itself, the manipulative powers of the human itself. Perth is on the side of heaven, the unknowable, and has associations with the phoenix, that mystical bird which consumes itself in fire and then rises from its own ashes. Its ways are secret and hidden. And by that, it's like everyone has that phoenix moment where, and they usually have many in their lifetime, where the old is so thoroughly consumed by the new that it may bust their paradigm. It may feel disruptive, and it may cause them to feel fear, but that they rise again like the phoenix from the ashes with a new perspective on life, with a new point of view, and having grown and expanded in their awareness of self. It's ways of secret and hidden. Powerful forces of change are at work here. So, like right now, with all these new humans being, what Courtney calls new humans, being born, with all these people willing to accept us and talking to us and not thinking that it's a strange thing or a bad thing or a wrong thing, it has allowed for more and more and more knowledge of how to connect with self. It's allowed us to work through people like Courtney and Angela and these other tarot readers and angel speakers to bring out our message that everything's all right. It's all right. Everything is all right. Everything should be right in your world. The way to make that right in your world is to accept your responsibility and align with your divine self and co-create. It can't do it without you. It can't fulfill all the plans without you, without your human body. What is not is achieved is not easily or readily shared. Now, this is a time when Bloom was doing this, it was a less easy to share it. This was printed in 1993. It was copyrighted in 1993, and back then that was it was at a time where it wasn't readily shared. But we're changing that now. You can readily share it. Be your authentic self. Just do it. Don't worry about what religions have had to say about it. Don't worry about any of that. If you feel called to do whatever you feel called to do, and it harm none, meaning with love and unconditional flow, then you will resonate with the people who will help you achieve your goals in this lifetime. After all, becoming whole in the midst of its profound secret. Well, the actual mechanisms are a profound secret, because what you find internally will be, and the images that they bring up will be individual. Never did ever Angela really think that when she was dealing with the astral realms that she would see dragons, but she has, or a huge spirit hawk, but she has, or had the kind of visions, battlefields, and all kinds of things that she has experienced and seen in the 3D realm beyond dream while she was awake, because of her ability to connect and interpret visions. On the side of the earthly or mundane, there may well be surprises, gains, or rewards that you did not anticipate. We are ready to surprise you. We are ready to surprise you. But the only way we can do that is for you to go into the unknown. We can't surprise you with the known. The only way that we can surprise you and give you those gifts is if you go into the unknown and start creating your own reality around you. It will start mirroring what you allow in here, what you feel in here, and your divine yeses will start creating your reality around you. The reality, though, starts within your heart temple, within your city, within all of the things that you have created within inside yourself. And they can either be good things or they can be bad things. And my suggestion would be start creating good things. Start making it a place where you want to live. On the human side, the side of human nature, this rune is symbolized by the flight of the eagle. Soaring flight, free from entanglement, lifting yourself above the endless ebb and flow of ordinary life to acquire a broader vision. And all of this is indicated here in this rune. The more you take on your divine self, the more you will see more like perspectives. about the realities around you. You'll see it from more beings' perspectives, and you will see more perspectives just in general. Like you're seeing the world in a different light. Like Angie seeing the world from the perspective of a tree and in communication with trees. Like Angie seeing the perspective of the rock. Like one day she was just in the park. They were just having fun, and this has happened more than once. And she just sees this rock, and she just feels this way. And she goes and sits down, and Cecil asks her, "What are you doing?" She said, "Well, the rock seemed to need me to put my butt on it. It wanted me to sit down on it, so I'm going to sit down on this rock." And that is the kind of reality that she has been building for herself since she's been in college. And it is reflecting. She believed in the ability for trees to talk. She believed that they could communicate, and they started doing so. Let's see. Another of the cycle runes, Perth stands for the heart of at the heart of initiation. Nothing external matters here except as it shows you its inner reflection. Again, nothing matters that it's external except how it's reflecting back to you. This is how we create our world. We create ourselves, things we want, and then the world reflects it back to us as the human self. The rune is concerned with the deepest stratums of our being, the bedrock on which our destiny is founded. For some, Perth means experiencing a death, if need be. Let go of everything. No exceptions, no exclusions. Nothing less than renewal of spirit is at stake. And I think earlier we were talking about, it may have been Joy was talking about, that you may be in such a severe state that you are not going to find happiness where you are. You may need to move cities, like Angela and Cecil did. You may need to move jobs, like Angela had to move into a different segment of her job. You might find yourself in a situation where you have to just give it all up. But if it's a divine yes, and if it's what you need, it will all work out for the best. As Courtney, Zero was saying through Courtney, this or better. And that's what path we are on. This or better. So don't fear the unknown, because the or better, that's the or better. So let's see. I think I might get one more room, and then we will let Angie come back and finish this up. And I'm Atah. And it was unique in her wanting to become our friends in such a way. Just because we're used to working with people who've been working on specific things like tarot drawings and that. I mean, working towards it, not just spiritually, but like taking classes and things like that. But she's been a chaos practitioner of life all her life. That's why they have a song called Chaos Agents. So let's see what this last rune has to tell us, tell the collective, so that Angie can wrap this up. Haha, wholeness. That's a good one, Suelo. Wholeness. Wholeness. That's what we're seeking. That is the human aligned with the divine aspect of itself, with its spirit. With them in communion and communication so that they can co-create. Wholeness. The ways of wholeness are always mysterious because each person's concept, each person's way of becoming whole are uniquely their own. But we all have a concept of what wholeness means. But each person's method of getting there might be different. So Suelu stands for wholeness, life force, the sun's energy, that which our nature requires. Yes, our nature does require wholeness. We can't really live the life that we actually intended without that. Human beings can't without aligning with their angels. This is what we have come to say. This is what we have told Angela. Align with your purpose. It may seem out of your comfort zone, but just do it. It stands for wholeness, that which our nature requires. It embodies the impulse towards self-realization. Self-realization, the I am, and indicates the path you must follow, not from ulterior motives, but from the core of your individuality. Getting aligned with the 5D, your authentic self, and working from that, the core of yourself. Seeking after wholeness is a spiritual warrior's quest. And yet, what you are striving to become in actuality is what you by nature already are. Yes, everything's already done. This is something that Angie's always believed in. It is true. Everything is already done. The end has already happened. Up there, we're all in the all in all, and we're happy. We're just living off the waves of time. Just enjoying riding it and learning about life. But you already are what you're becoming. Your future self already exists, but it'll be taken care of in your human future. Your angelic future has already occurred. Time doesn't work like that for the angels. But your human self is catching up to that, to what you already are. Become conscious of your essence and bring it into form. Express it in a creative way. This is exactly our whole intent in coming to you guys now, is that you are supposed to be co-creating. You're supposed to be expressing your divine nature in a creative way. We're building our future here in the now. Our past already took care of itself, and the future will take care of itself, but we're building it by the decisions, the divinely aligned decisions that we make right now as human beings. Now, I'm an angel speaking through her, but I do have human emissaries, and we are all trying to build this world together. A rune of great power, making life force available to you. Suelu marks a time for regeneration down to the cellular level. You might find yourself having a physiological type of change. And maybe not necessarily like hers, but if you're someone who's been so immersed in the 3D, but you desire the 5D, you too can attain it. It takes a lot of work. You have to step out of your own way and deprogram yourself thoroughly from 3D limited ways of thinking. But you too can achieve it. Although the rune has no reverse position, there's reason for caution. You may see fit to withdraw or even retreat in the face of a pressing situation, especially if events or people are demanding that you expend your energy now. Again, we've been talking about that you may have to let things go. Something that's demanding too much of your spiritual energy, you may have to let go. We found a balance with Angela by not totally taking away from her job and having her catastrophic sense just go crazy because of it. But you may find yourself having to take a radical leap of faith from where you thought you were going to be in order to align with your divine self. Know that such a retreat is a retreat in strength. It's not because of weakness. A voyage inward for centering, for balance. Time on retreat is among the skills of the spiritual warrior. So, like taking yourself out of situations that you're not divinely aligned with is timely. You just need to do whatever that is. Suelo counsels open yourself up, letting the light into a part of your life that has been secret, shut away. And Angie had to do this with channeling us, letting people understand her experiences that she's had spiritually that brought her to this point. Suelu counsels opening yourself up, letting the light into a part of your life that has been secret. Shut away. The secret shut away. To accomplish this, you may call for profound recognition for admitting to yourself something that you've long denied, like Angela sharing her spiritual thing and allowing herself to channel. There is a prayer known as the Gayatri that embodies the spirit of this rune of wholeness. Address the sun in this fashion. You who are the source of all power, whose rays illuminate the worlds, illuminate also my heart, so it too can do your work. And that's the thing you need to tell your divine light, illuminate my heart, so it can do your work. While reciting the Gayatri, visualize the sun's rays, and then it's just telling you, this is a powerful and life-enhancing prayer. There's caution here not to give yourself airs. Angela, she's pretty good at not doing that because she knows that of all the things that there is to know, she knows just a little bit. We all can only just contain a little bit in this little noggin here as humans. As angels, you can attain a lot of knowledge and hold a lot of knowledge. But as humans, your brain's still limited in the amount of knowledge you can actually hold and be useful in one lifetime. Okay, here we go. Life enhancing prayer. There's a caution under that, Even in a time of bountiful energy, you're required to face and vanquish your refusal to let right action flow through you. Nourish this capacity, for it is the mark of true humility. So again, if you know that if you're holding on to something or someone that is causing you conflict, and that conflict, is causing everything in your life and the people around you discomfort, and causing you to not actually live in the now and to not actually have a chance to have fun or be happy, you need to figure out how to shed whatever it is that's not making you happy, and or look at it in a new light and find a way to make you happy so that you can actually feel this time of flow. You have to do the right action, but only you can determine what that is by going within. Practice the art of doing without doing. Aim yourself true and then maintain your aim without manipulative effort. Meditate on the Christ's words, I can of my own self do nothing. And that's your human. Your human can of its own self do nothing. It can only just kind of exist in this 3D reality. But with the power of your angel, you can you can create miracles with the power of your divine connection. For by our own power we do nothing. Even in loving, it's the love that's flowing through us. This is a way of thinking and being integrates new energies and permits us to flow into wholeness, which is the ultimate goal of the spiritual warrior. So, seek after your wholeness, get aligned with your divine, and miracles will abound. We can only really work with you through the unknown. Don't try to overthink things. Feel your divine inspiration and then make decisions when they come up, using your system of divinely, heck yeah, or hell yeah, divinely, no, this is not the time for that, or never. It's all up to you. So I'm going to let Angie come back out. This has been fun. I was driving her nuts with so she's already taking notes for what she intended to do tomorrow. But since Cecil went to sleep, she decided to go ahead and get this message done and get it in the bag. So I'm going to let her come back and just breathe and enjoy your life. It's not that serious. That was fun. He wasn't really driving me nuts, but I was sitting there writing, listening to Cecil, and trying to edit all of this stuff at the same time. But it was fun. It was fun. That kind of thing I can multitask with because it's my divine nature to do these things. And they kind of come in tandem sometimes. So, this was a lot of fun. And yeah, it seems like they are very, very much ready now to speak through me. And I will continue to do this. I hope you enjoyed the message. If you have had any experience that you want to share, just let me know. We can talk. I'm here to make friends. I'm here to live in my divine 3D, 5D reality in my 3D body. I love you guys. Love you, emissaries. Bye.